Welcome to Intel's Pride Month special. As a way to celebrate our community, and as something of a redux of a video I made some 5 years ago, I'm going to be covering the complete history of LGBT representation and support throughout the entire Call of Duty franchise. And starting off in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, we're introduced fairly early on to a member of our campaign crew, Lieutenant Junior Ebele Yetide. Throughout the story, we see her as a capable member on board the Retribution, playing a vital role in coordinating FTL travel and later on supporting us on the ground when we reach Mars. But after the Retribution is downed by enemy forces, leading to Yetide meeting her untimely demise in action, we can later see her final recording during the end credits, addressed to her wife, Marta.
Marta, the Navy has made my life a long-distance love affair. People tell me I always seem so happy. I am. I have you.
While subtle, it's a fairly grounded representation, even if the rest of the game isn't exactly as realistic. The following year, with Call of Duty World War II, we didn't necessarily see any LGBT representation in the form of characters, but on the game's launch, a set of free calling cards was included for the multiplayer part of the game, displaying a couple of different pride flags flown within the headquarters, including the traditional rainbow, transgender, asexual, and bisexual flags. When 2019's reboot of Modern Warfare hit the scene, beside it came a record-setting amount of LGBT representation, with an updated suite of pride flag calling cards, including some of the mainstream flags that weren't originally in World War II. We were also introduced to our first playable operators to be members of the LGBT community, like Alexia Alice Valenzuela, who, after we find her dossier in the Special Ops mode, it reveals a little-known detail that she's married to a woman named Anna Lorraine Curry. The other operator is Wayne D-Day Davis, whose tragic backstory contained within his own dossier describes the relationship he developed in 2014 with one Private Grayson Jeffries in his former Marines unit, although it was seen as illicit by their superiors. After Jeffries was captured following an ambush by the Taliban, D-Day launched an unsanctioned raid on the captor's location, but after clearing the stronghold found Jeffries dead. Distraught over the love he'd lost, D-Day was issued a Section 8 discharge from the Marines, being found as mentally unfit for service. Although, historically, Section 8 has also been used by some unscrupulous military officials to discriminate against LGBT soldiers. Years later, D-Day returned to service on October of 2019, joining up with Alice in the elite Marines unit Demon Dogs. The following year of Call of Duty brought us back to the 80s with Black Ops Cold War, where in the gloomy spy noir campaign, you assume the role of the CIA agent Bell, whose dossier is almost fully customizable, allowing for a choice of gender between male, female, non-binary, or even classified. And in a gut-punch twist near the campaign's ending, Bell is finally told the truth about their past within the rogue Soviet spy ring, Perseus, their betrayal at the hands of a jealous comrade, and most critically, the fact that their dossier was completely fabricated by the CIA, all in the name of aiding Bell's brainwashing, which sought to turn them against Perseus. This plot point kind of downplays the significance of your gender selection, especially when, if we run over to the Jeep where we can unknowingly find Bell left for dead, they're represented as a generic white guy in a mask. But even still, you can witness all of Bell's teammates, and even the figurehead of Perseus himself, respecting their pronouns throughout the main section of the campaign.
I think you deserve this moment, comrade.
On the zombie side of Black Ops Cold War, we were given a brand new perspective on Samantha Maxis, who is now a grown adult since her last appearance in Black Ops 4. And after she's recovered from the Dark Ether dimension by the CIA Office of Requiem, she finds a mutual romantic interest in Requiem's head of unnatural sciences, Elizabeth Gray. As complications arise surrounding the zombie outbreak, Sam, now imbued with cosmic power and trusted to support a dangerous Requiem mission, reveals the true depth of her feelings for Gray in an audio recording found in the map Forsaken.
You've been a good friend. More than a friend.
The conclusion of Forsaken sees Maxis sacrificing herself against the titular antagonist for the good of humanity. Although she's not forgotten by Gray, who, later in the Black Ops 6 Zombies map Reckoning, vents her grief for the woman she loved and lost.
I want all of her! I f***ing loved her!
Traveling even further back in time, Call of Duty Vanguard introduced a slightly more personal take on the operator system, providing each character an easily accessible biography through text and short movies. And notably, we were given some extra insight into the operator Constanze Muller, a former German poster child turned rebel, who, as her bio states, found a female lover after defecting to the Polish resistance, eventually joining the British SOE to turn the tables on Axis forces. And later on in the Season 2 update, we were introduced to Thomas Bolt, a tank commander who, as we learned from his intro movie, writes some rather tender letters back home to his partner, Bradley.
I would die for you, Bradley. And dying for the people you love. There are scarier things.
Moving over to Vanguard's flawed but plot-rich zombies mode, we're introduced to Gabriel Krafft, an expert on the occult and demonologist, who, as he guides an allied special forces team through the process of stopping an ancient evil from conquering the world, reveals a bit of information about his motivations, mainly recovering his captured spouse Sasha from the clutches of Oberfuhrer Wolfram von List, who himself is working with the main antagonist. And while the dialogue writing strangely avoids gendering Sasha at any point,
where is my Sasha now?
One dialogue from Von List indicates that Sasha was most likely a man.
Spouse, please. You were never married. You know such a thing is impossible.
Given the unfortunate but real prejudice against same-sex marriages in the 1940s.
Boys like me were, well, we could not really be ourselves.
The final Zombies map, the Archon, concludes this arc when it reveals that Von List had killed Sasha long ago.
Sasha died months ago. And I'm glad we can stop pretending. Writing all those love letters sickened me. But I needed you to keep working.
Modern Warfare 2 released the very next year. And aside from being my personal favorite entry in the Call of Duty franchise, it also took its LGBT representation further yet, including some really cool animated pride flag calling cards and emblems, as well as revealing something about an existing character we'd already come to know in Kate Laswell, the CIA handler who works with Captain Price and his Task Force 141. And while she's usually pretty focused on the mission, at one point we're doing a rather slow bit of recon, specifically hiking down an enormous hill, during which the team finds time to make small talk with Laswell.
I still run, John. Just gotta stop smoking.
You smoke, Laswell?
I do. My wife hates it.
And this is the first time we hear about the woman waiting for her back home. And as we progress through the storyline of Modern Warfare 2 and later 3, Laswell continues to be a strong and important female lead. On the topic of Modern Warfare 3, this game might be the single best case of LGBT representation across the entire franchise, as in a free store bundle during Pride Month, we were given a huge amount of cosmetics like a Pride Heart weapon sticker and charm, and most importantly, a massive lineup of flashy Pride flag camos. Once I got my hands on these, I basically didn't use anything else. And as the years went on, I would also go on to glitch the camos onto my other weapons in Warzone. Treyarch, please don't ban me. Modern Warfare 3 also brought 2 new operators who were members of the LGBT community, like Githa Alpine Strom, whose bio describes how she found a romantic partner within her unit, the all-female Jägertroppen of Norway. Then, on Pride Month of 2024, Infinity Ward made a really sweet render of a bunch of LGBT characters from their games to celebrate the occasion. And amidst a couple of expected appearances, we can see Roland Swagger Kaminsky, who, while the game doesn't exactly elaborate, is definitely implied to be a member of the community. And even if we don't know the details, that's still okay. Lastly, ending off with Black Ops 6 releasing the following year, we were given our very first non-binary operator for the multiplayer section of the game, Volta Rossi. Although they do work for the bad guys on the Crimson One team, it's still nice to see a non-binary character being valued and respected for who they are in the game. Okay, so right as I was wrapping up this video, Black Ops 7 came out with a free Pride Month bundle with a couple cosmetics. So here's what that looks like. Okay, that's all. Thank you, bye-bye. With Infinity Ward's next game on the horizon, time will tell what other characters we'll meet in time as part of the LGBT community, but as I upload this, that's everything I could find across all of the Call of Duty games. And it's really nice to see this representation in a game that hasn't had a nearly sparkling reputation in the past with our community. And turning it around in the recent years has definitely been a choice for the better, because, after all, there's a soldier in all of us. Happy Pride Month, and see you next time on Intel.